All right, that's all good. That's all good. All right. So I'm going to start off with something very simple, just a statement that may cause a paradigm shift. Life begins at the end of your comfort zone. Like right now, I'm going to be real. I am so far out of my comfort zone. It's unreal. Like I'm actually more nervous here than when I was thrown on stage in David Game College. But life begins at the end of your comfort zone. Oh, I can tell you guys, for example, my heart is racing right now, but this is how I know I'm achieving something great. Life begins at the end of your comfort zone. This phrase right here, this statement itself, this itself can change your life. If you start aiming to get out of your comfort zone once a day, if that's just speaking to someone on a train, if you're trying to team build, even not about team building, just trying to get out of your comfort zone, doing things you don't like to do. Like I could just stay inside all day, play the PlayStation, play the Xbox. But really and truly, if I leave my house, if I network, if I speak to people, I'll feel uncomfortable at first. But once I'm outside my comfort zone, I'm off. I'm loving it. I come home, I feel like I've accomplished something. I don't know if anyone can relate to that, but really and truly, getting out of your comfort zone is one of the most important things, I think. So let me just turn off drawing because I can see. Let me clear the annotations and try to turn them off because I see you lot are. 1 second. See, someone just did a little scribble there. There we go. All right. So I cannot stress how important this is. Your comfort zone. If you stay in your comfort zone for the rest of your life, you won't achieve anything. If you want to be chairman, chairwoman, if you want to be a top trader, you need to be getting out of your comfort zone. Like, it's so easy for us. We can watch TV with IML. We can watch TV with Go Live. Go Live is so powerful. And I would say that's outside of comfort zone. Anything we don't want to do is outside our comfort zone. That's my definition of a comfort zone. Anything that we don't like doing, like we have to kind of force ourselves a bit to do it. But it's the sort of thing, if you can watch TV all day, you can watch Go Live all day and make money while you're doing it. But that moves me swiftly along. The PowerPoint wants to work. Okay, so there's two types of mindset, a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. Now, this is very important. When Des first dropped this, I started thinking about it. Like a teacher at my school actually a couple of years ago mentioned it, but I didn't really grasp onto the idea. So you see, there's a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. Fixed mindset, you can see the examples. I'm only good at certain things. I give up when it gets too hard. I hate challenges. I take feedback and criticism personally. I don't like doing what I don't know. That's what a fixed mindset is. And so many people have a fixed mindset and a closed mindset as well. And I've actually got the definition of a mindset below for you guys. So a mindset is the established set of attitudes held by someone. So if your attitudes are, you're late, you're quite, you've got a lazy attitude. You're not hardworking. You're not motivated. You're demotivated. If those are your attitudes, then that will form your mindset. So your attitudes form your mindset. So if you can take only one thing out of this, is make sure you try to change your attitudes. Whatever you do, you have to change your attitudes. And by that, it could be something simple like listening to personal growth. I've got the next slide kind of shows you how you can change your paradigm, how you can move to a different frequency, how you can, increase your awareness, what you can do. But having a fixed mindset, will keep you trapped. And a fixed mindset is staying in your comfort zone, simply put. Now, a growth mindset on the other side. If you fail, you say to yourself, I can be good at anything. It doesn't matter if I fail. Failure is just part of the process. I try until I get the results I want. Sorry, still a bit ill. So I try until I get the results I want. Actually, before I go on to that, if you have a fixed mindset, can you put a 2 in chat? Like I want to see if anyone here has a fixed mindset. Like reading that, does this describe any of you? Does anyone here have a fixed mindset, really and truly? Okay, I like the honesty. I'm sure there's a few more, but they're scared. Arlene, that's powerful. But now that you've become aware of it, you can change it. Now that I became aware that I had a fixed mindset. As soon as I gained awareness of having a fixed mindset, my life started changing. I got outside my comfort zone and I started to grow as a person. I've only been in this company for 2 months, and really and truly, people like my mentors, they can vouch for me. They're shocked at my progress because I clocked on straight away. I have a fixed mindset. I'm in my comfort zone. I'm doing this wrong. I'm doing that wrong. It's a process. But I like to throw myself in the deep end, like doing this Zoom. Like I'm throwing myself in the deep end. Like I've never done a Zoom before, not even practice. I was meant to practice before. I jumped on a bit late. But yeah, so let's move over to the growth mindset. So a growth mindset is when you say to yourself, I can be good at anything. Failure is just part of the process. Failure is necessary for me to succeed. I try until I get the results I want. So you won't stop for anything. If you blow your account 3, 4, 5, 6 times, however many times, you'll keep going until you keep getting success. You build it. I embrace challenges. Now, this is a big one. Embracing your challenges, you can't undermine how powerful that is. If you embrace challenges on a daily basis, as we all do without even realizing it, we've got challenges all over us, all in our lives. If you embrace challenges, your life is bound to change. I welcome feedback and criticism. Now, this is something that even I have to work on at the moment. Like when someone's like, listen, after I gave that speech, a few people came up to me and they're like, look, I can see what you did wrong. Then I was like, what? I stepped outside my comfort zone. I got thrown in the deep end. My heart was racing. Like I got so upset. But then I realized I have to welcome feedback in order to grow. And one of the last thing, I like learning about things I don't know. I'm hungry. I'm hungry to learn. I'm not hungry. I'm starving. I'm starving to learn. That's what you need. You need to be starving to learn. Now, some of you are thinking, how can I go from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset? What can I do? Like, if there's anyone here who wants to go from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset, like I'm thinking of Natasha, I'm thinking of Arlene, like there's things you can do. So here we've got personal growth. Now, personal growth isn't just watching videos every morning. There's more to it. So we'll start off with planning. Success is planned. You can plan success. If you sit down on a Sunday, if you sit down tomorrow and plan Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, plan when you're going to do this, when you're going to do that. So I'm going to watch The Educator at this time. I'm going to watch I'm going to study the greats for half an hour. By study the greats, I mean your online mentors, your Les Browns. It's just so powerful. Planning. You have to plan success. Success isn't just going to happen. You need to plan success. Motivation. Now, motivation, a lot of people, like I have a trait that I'm quite a motivated person and I find myself to be motivational at times. I like to consider myself motivational. But motivation is so, so important. If you're not motivated, what's the point? Like, what is the point if you're not motivated? There's actually no point if you're not motivated. Motivation is the key. Now, how can you get motivated? I wake up some mornings and I'm like, like this morning I woke up at 8, went back to sleep, woke up at 9, went back to sleep. Then I check and it's like 11:40 and I was meant to meet someone and I was like, oh crap. Like, then I put on some self-development, 5-10 minutes and I was motivated. Now training, it uses hurdles there, but we don't have to be athletes to train. Training can be as simple as, doing your half an hour a day of Forex basics or watching your favorite educator for half an hour a day. Now, creativity, this is something I'm not even doing at the moment. We're undermining it. Like, we are all so creative. Like Bob Proctor always says, your spiritual DNA is perfect. There's nothing, no alterations need to be done. No alterations need to be changed. Like, I'm going to set a target to start, I'm going to set a goal to start, devoting maybe 10, 20 minutes just to brainstorm, to draw, to be creative and develop. It says develop, but you will develop by doing all these things. So that one's quite self-explanatory. Now, vision, you have to visualize. If you don't visualize, then you don't know where you're going. Like writing down your goals, we haven't got to goals yet, but you have to write down your goals, then visualize as if you have them now. If you don't visualize, it won't happen. Like there's no point writing something down on a piece of paper and waiting for the magic click, waiting for God to bless you. Like it's just not gonna happen. You have to visualize, you have to really see, you have to really believe it. Now learning. With IML, this is quite important. You do need to learn. That's one of the most important things. You have to be, we're all learners. Like it's the sort of thing where there's people who want to sign under me, but I learned so much from them. So powerful. I actually learned so much from them because it's just where you have to be a student. You have to kind of humble yourself and be like, you have to kill the ego. If you have an ego, that's the only thing stopping you from where you want to be right now. So you really have to break down your ego and you have to learn. You have to learn from everyone. Everyone has a valuable lesson. We all have different walks of life. We've all been through different things. We can learn from each other. And now goals. I think Des said only a very small percentage, I think it's 3%, 3% of the population, correct me if I'm wrong, but 3% of the population write down their financial goals. Now that is so important. That is so important. You need to write down your goals. And more important, yeah, 3%. Thank you, Des. So you need to write down your goals, and then you need to kind of structure a plan to get there. What I do is I break them up into short term, medium term, long term. So the short terms, what I do on a daily, medium terms, couple weeks, couple months, and long terms, you're looking at 6 months and above. Like I'll show quickly my goals at the end, kind of to give you guys, you know, an idea if you're struggling. But if you're following what I'm saying, please give me a 4 in the chat box. Give me a 4 in the chat box if what I'm saying is making sense. All right, thank you. Okay. All right, that's good. So literally personal development, you know, it can be as simple as watching Bob Proctor for 20 minutes a day. Or if you don't like Bob Proctor, find an online mentor or even read a book. You know, I started reading Building an Empire the other day. It only came in a post the other day. I was like, oh, I wasn't reading it. It was sitting on the side. I open a book and then, you know, I pick up the book, I put it down and I check the time. It's been 3 hours. Like, it's so powerful. Like, I didn't even realize, you know what I mean? Like, I missed appointments. I missed an appointment. I was getting phone calls. Where are you at? But I missed an appointment because I was so deep into it. Like, you just need to find something you love and channel it. All right. So this is the thing I'll leave you on. One of the last things I'll leave you. Success is the journey, not the destination. When I found this out, it took so much pressure off my head. Success is the journey. Now, what I mean by that is there's no destination. You can't just wake up one day and be like, yeah, I'm successful. Anyone who says they're successful isn't really successful. There's no such thing as success. You can't define success. You can define your own success, but the word success, like, I think they should rip out the dictionary. It shouldn't have a definition. Like, there should be no definition for the word success because it's the journey. How can you describe a journey? You're on a journey your whole life. So success is the journey, not the destination. Now, before I finish the mindset side of things and I pass you on to my great friend, Oscar, who he's going to blow your heads away, I'm hoping, with his markups. I don't know. I've not seen them. Hopefully they're good. Where's my mouse gone? There we go. So I'm just going to move on to my goals quickly. So I've split my goals up, as I said, into short term, medium term, long term. And I actually looked back at this. I made these right after convention. I was fired up. And I looked back at these and I didn't hit quite a few. And I got quite upset. But then I realized, you know, you have to always go back. You have to look at them and edit them, push them forward, never delete a goal, just extend it. That's one thing I've learned. And I'll be honest, I haven't been looking at these every day. That one of my goals is to read my goals every day, and I have not been achieving that. But it's the sort of thing where, like, this is what I like to do. It works for me. It may not work for you, but break it down: short term, medium term, long term, and then you can have one big goal. So on my vision board, I have one big picture of what I want everything to look like, and then smaller pictures of what that big picture will mean everything else will look like. But really and truly, guys, I'm going to keep it short and sweet. I'm going to leave it there. I hope you got some value. If you got value, please put a 5 in the chat. Please put a 5 in the chat box if you got some value. You know, thank you. Everyone's flattering me. But yeah, I cannot stress how important all this is. Like, I'll leave it on this slide because I think this is actually the most important slide of them all. A growth mindset is very important, yes, but life begins at the end of your comfort zone. If you're going to take one thing out, take this. Life begins at the end of your comfort zone. Once you step out your comfort zone, your life will begin. It's like you'll be born again. All right. So I'm actually going to pass it on to Oscar, who I think is going to do some smart money training with us. I hope you guys enjoyed my section of it. And now let's get into the... So just give me 1 second.
Wow. Nuggets. Thank you for that, Philip. Let me quickly share my screen. Can you drop a 1 if you can hear me? Yep, let me see. Let me share my screen. All right, cool. Can you all see my screen and hear me? If you can't, let me know in the chat. Sweet. All right, so in terms of the markups, I'm going to go over quickly because we don't have that much time left until the Zoom shuts. I'm going to go some smart money markups and entries from that I used last week, and I'm going to take you through. My way of thinking when it comes to me marking up my charts in chronological order. So the first thing I do before I do any technical analysis, the first thing that I do is I will always try and get a bias of structure. Before I do my technical analysis, I need to find out on the higher time frames what's the structure. So right now I'll usually go on a higher time frame, so the weekly, the daily, the monthly, and I'll try and look at the structure. So obviously with the corona at the moment, the fundamentals is going a bit crazy, but we can clearly see that it's in a downtrend. We've seen a lot of downward movement. If we go on the daily, same thing as well. And if I switch to lines, you can clearly see higher highs keep forming, higher highs keep forming, higher lows, sorry, keep forming. So when we see this, we always want to go in the same direction as the trend, because if we follow the trend, it gives us a high probability of hitting take profits instead of hitting stop losses. So what I'm doing right now is a top-down analysis going from the higher time frames to the lower time frames. So in terms of smart money, the first thing we look for once we've done a top-down analysis, we've got the structure, so we know we're looking for sells. The second thing I'll do is think of fundamentals. Fundamentals basically is just another word for news. At the moment, like this is a key example, is with the corona, we know that the fundamentals, so the news, it plays a huge role in the movement of the markets. So especially with US 30, S&P 500, which is the top American companies, we know that the news and the economy is clearly going to affect pairs. That's why we've been seeing a lot more volatility in the markets recently. So having a structural bias and a fundamental bias is key to being able to mark up charts. In terms of fundamentals, we can see a lot of bearish movement, and it's been like that for like 2-3 weeks now. So the structure is sells and the fundamentals is sells. Once I've done that, then I can go to my technical analysis. Because I used to mark up charts without doing structure and fundamentals, and that's just leaving out a big piece of the puzzle. So once you've got structure and fundamentals, you're giving yourself more confluence, more confirmations, and essentially you're just giving yourself a higher probability of winning. Now that I've got my fundamentals, I move on to the technical. So institutional trading is like the bank. So I'm trying to look for what are called institutional candles. So if I drop down to the 1 hour, an institutional candle, to keep it short and sweet, is the last up candle before a downward movement, or the last bullish candle before a bearish move, or the last bearish candle for a bullish move. So in this example, because we're looking for sells, this candle here that I'm pointing at, this is the institutional candle right here, because it's the last bullish candle before the downward movement, if that makes sense. So institutional candles are the candles we look for entries. So this is the candle I'd be using for the entry. So what I'll do is I'll get a horizontal ray, and the opening of these candles, so here, is what I would use for my entry, and my stop loss would always be placed just above that candle. A lot of people would put the stop loss here. There's not really right or wrong, but because of the volatility and spread, I like to put mine a couple pips above. So this first blue line is my entry, second blue line will be my stop loss. So if I'm going for a short position, I would place my entry here, place my stop loss there. My target would be these equal lows. So also known previously as support or resistance. Those are targets that I can use on my take profits. You can use slippage as well. So if you see gaps like this, these sorts of gaps in the market here, can be used as targets, or even this big gap here. When there's gaps like this in the market, it's always going to come back and get filled again. If we carry on and we look at the market, it tapped this area perfectly. If we zoom in here, let me get rid of this. You can see that this, the entry line, the purple entry line here on 2505.4, it came back, tapped it perfectly, and then moved away to them equal lows. So if you had been in that trade, which was practically a 1 to 4, then you would have hit TP. But the thing about smart money, one of the reasons why it's so not only successful but consistent, is because of the risk to reward. The risk to reward is so important, because like if you have a 1 to 4 risk to reward, you can lose 4 trades in a row, win one trade, and you'll be back in profit. So that's why smart money is, it completely covers losses. So that's the sort of mindset that institutional traders are in when they're marking up smart money. I'll check it ends in 5 minutes. Yeah, cool, say no more. So yeah, that is it. Let me just show you one more example on silver. If it wants to load, let me reload it real quick. So yeah, let me quickly find an example on silver. So yeah, on silver, there was entries on a even smaller time frame. If we quickly drop to the 15-minute, we can see here again this candle where the arrow is pointing. This is the last upward candle. This is the last bullish candle before the downward movement. So again, at the opening of this candle, we will draw a purple line. At the top here, where our stop loss would be, we draw a purple line, and that's where we would set either a pending order or market execution for a sell, because the price, banks, they have to buy to sell, which means that they have to come back to this area. And as you can see right here, that's exactly what price did. It came back, touched perfectly. Yeah, it's not a coincidence that it came perfectly, touched the opening of the institutional candle here. See, that's the institutional candle here, touched perfectly the opening several times, and then it moved away. So if you got into this trade, you wouldn't have seen any drawdown, you would not have seen any red, no minus, you would have gone straight into profit. And it went into, there you go, 12,196 pips profit. So there you go, guys. Drop some 2s if you got some nuggets from that. So that's smart money trading. I think we've got literally 3 minutes until the Zoom cancels out. So if you have any questions, put it in the chat. If not, put it in, message me in a group chat. But yeah, guys, that's it in terms of institutional entries. Any questions, drop them in the chat. We're literally ending in 2 minutes. Stacy, I think Philip is recording this session, so it will get sent out in the main chat. But yeah, like I said, guys, it's ending in 2 minutes. So if you have any questions, drop them in the main chat. Quick question, the top line is stop loss. What's the bottom one for? Yeah, so the bottom line, I'm guessing you're talking about this one here. That's my entry. Because remember, this candle here is my institutional candle because it's the last up candle before the down move. So your entry is always going to be on the opening of this candle, of the institutional candle. So my opening was here. My stop loss is just above it. and you wait for the market to come back. I hope that answers your question, Natasha. So yeah, guys, that's the end of the session. I'm going to end it there, and the recording will get sent in the main chat.